What is this world 2026? Like DJT DJT Hamighty, thanks. Just here to support you at this point. I can scarcely believe the current state of the world. I mean, one of the weirdest ways to wake up to this day was to see the letter from President. I don't even think I want to call him the president anymore. Like, to be fair, we should just start calling him with the real name that he deserves. The current dictator of the United States, or even the world. Well, let's start something else. Before diving into Delulu Trump, that got super mad that he didn't get the Nobel Peace Prize. So mad. Just started, yes. Just started. So let's talk about the Spain train crash first, before we jump into Trump. And let's see if Trump even like wakes up for the day. I don't think he has given any interviews as of yet. Usually Mondays are Trump's interview days, so 8647, 25th Amendment now. I agree. I was just talking. I had 2 really long phone calls in a row, and I was just having a discussion that this is a crossroads for the world, not just for the US, but for the world. That we are seeing some unhinged shit going on at the moment. That if Congress and Republicans don't find their spine, it has larger ramifications around the world. Morning, nice day for fishing, ain't it? I don't know. Ice fishing, you mean? Ice fishing, you mean? Yeah. Beautiful day for ice fishing. He's stealing prizes now. Yeah. Imagine being so butthurt about like not getting the Nobel Peace Prize that you're willing to invade and threaten your allies. That's what we're dealing with. We're dealing with a child that was said no for the first time. The Republicans are all compromised. They're on the Epstein files. But there's also Democrats in the Epstein files. But definitely, like, people who are hiding the Epstein files, that's a bit sus. But, like, you don't take no for an answer, and also you surround yourself with yes men and yes women. And when somebody says no to you, you start crying and you threaten them with an army. And that person is responsible for the nuclear codes for the United States and also the army of the United States. That's where we're living at the moment. We have a deranged, dementic old man having a hissy fit for not getting the Nobel Peace Prize, sending a letter to the Norwegian Prime Minister, and Norway doesn't even decide who gets the Nobel Peace Prize. The government of Norway doesn't even decide who gets the Nobel Peace Prize. And did you read the letter? We don't care who's in the files, lock them up, all up. Yeah, 100%. I mean, somebody needs to do a Maduro. Is that what we call it now? When you snag a leader of a country. I mean, if they did it, Trump is a criminal, you know? He is a convicted felon. So somebody could technically do the same. Yes, agree. Come get him and the whole regime. If we don't get them all out, it will make a difference. Yeah, and take all of US's oils. Take all the natural resources as well. Like, we are in the crossroads. But before we continue talking about Trump, let's talk about a tragedy that happened yesterday. And we saw it happen live. But back in yesterday, I think the victim, there was like 3 deaths yesterday, but it has ramped up to 39. And we need to remove Elon as well. 100%. Mac attack, the driver fell asleep. So high-speed train crash in southern Spain kills 39. 48 people remain in hospital with 12 in intensive care after 2 trains collided in Córdoba province. At least 39 people have been killed and 12 are in intensive care after 2 trains collided in southern Spain on Sunday night in what Prime Minister Pedro Sanchez called a night of deep pain of our country. A high-speed Irio train traveled from Malaga to Madrid, derailed near the Adamuz in Córdoba province at about 7:40 p.m. Crossing on another track where it hit an oncoming train, Adif Spain Rail's infrastructure authority said on social media. If he tried to acquire Greenland militarily, what NATO can do? Fight it. The second train, which was operated by the state rail company Renfe, also derailed, falling down a 4-meter, 13-foot slope, authorities say. The 2 trains were carrying about 500 people in total at the time of the collision on Monday morning. Emergency services in Andalusia said 122 people had been treated for their injuries and 48 people were still in hospital, of whom 12 were in the intensive care units. There are many injured. I'm still trembling, Maria San Jose, 33, a passenger on the train that first derailed, told El Pai. Sabotage, you think so? Another woman traveling on the same train said she had been heading to Madrid when the collision happened. The train tipped to one side, then everything went dark and all I heard was screams. Her face covered in plasters, she said she had been tracked out of the train through a window by other passengers who had escaped. Firefighters rescued her sister from the wreckage and an ambulance took them both to hospital. There were people who were fine and others who were very, very badly injured, she said. You had them right in front of you and you knew they were going to die and you couldn't do anything about it. An unidentified passenger on the second train, which was going from Madrid to Huelva, told the public broadcaster TVE, there were people screaming, their bags fell from the shelves. I was traveling to Huelva in the 4th carriage, the last, luckily. Have you seen the Vice News interview with the former Danish foreign minister about Greenland? Accidents happen, rest in peace. Yeah, like, this is just sad. You're talking about the interview about Stephen Miller, right? What the Danish minister said about Stephen Miller. I saw that interview. That was kind of interesting. The Córdoba fire chief Paco Carmona told TV that while the Irio train had been evacuated within hours of the crash, the Renfe carriages were badly damaged, hampering efforts. There are still people trapped. The operation is concentrating on getting people out of areas which are very narrow. We have to remove the bodies to reach anyone who is still alive. It is proving to be a complicated task. Puente said most of those killed and injured have been in the first 2 carriages of the second train. It's speculation, of course, but if a train hadn't been coming in the opposite direction, we likely would not be talking about any victims at all. What's up, Grandma's boy toy? I'm back. I noticed. You have such a unique username that it's really easy to remember. It's a day of sorrow for all Spain, he said. Spanish society, like all of us, is wondering what happened, how it happened, how this tragedy could have occurred, and I'm convinced that time and the work of experts will provide us with those answers. Ten minutes after departing from Córdoba, the train started to shake a lot and it derailed from coach 6 behind us. So we just need to wait until they do the investigation, and I just smoke a hit of meth. Don't do meth, not even once. I've seen the infomercials about that. Don't do meth, not even once. That's wild that they have video footage of people climbing out the window still. That's methed up. Can't confirm meth isn't worth. I haven't. What up, Tush? I have never tried meth, so I can say too much. Okay, so it's kind of pointless to speculate what happened in that train accident in Spain, but aren't those like high-speed rails maintained quite often? So it's kind of wild that you would have a derailing like that. But of course, as already stated, like accidents can happen, and unfortunately, there's been a bit too much death and suffering in the start of the year 2026. Sabotage. People are thinking that. Hi boss, been trying to catch your streams, but the insanity of the USA has me fearful for my friend over there, so have been helping a few of them look into immigrating over here. That's understandable. I've also heard similar stories that people are looking to move from the USA to somewhere else. And I don't blame them. I don't blame them at all. Like it's totally understandable. Ireland is a good place to move. In a brief telephone interview with NBC News, Donald Trump declined to rule out seizing Greenland by force. No comment. What a fucking pussy. What a fucking... Like, first you threaten, pump your chest, and also cry because you didn't get a Nobel Prize. Nobel Peace Prize. You send it to the wrong person, the wrong authority. And then you don't comment what you say. Okay, let's talk about Trump then. I think it's time. We can come back to that Spain because it's ongoing. I think it's appropriate to call it the Trump situation, right? As a Canadian, I'd love to live in the States. Economy has always been better than Canada. Right now, we're doing the worst in the G7. My American-born friend, whose second-generation citizen, was detained by ICE for 36 hours and only got released because his boss vouched for him. He's vaguely Mexican-looking. I mean, that's because ICE detains and captures people based on racial profiling, even though they say they don't do that, but there's a lot of video and evidence that they fucking do that. If you have an accent, if you have brown skin, if you look foreign to them, they will do that. I don't agree with you at all, host, but respect that you are respectable and not nuts like most here. I mean, yeah, NATO has warned Denmark of China and Russia. It's weird. It's weird that because Denmark's own national intelligence report from 2025, which probably majority of you haven't read, but I have read it, like they don't list China as a threat. As a matter of fact, they listed China as one of the possible business partners for Greenland, because China wants to do business with Greenland and Denmark. They did mention in the intelligence briefing of 2025 that there's an increase a number of Russian military vessels surrounding the Arctic Sea, which is understandable because of global warming. The ice is melting, so there's new paths available. So of course, people are looking into new sales routes and business routes in the Arctic Sea. But what they did mention in the 2025 intelligence report from the Danish authorities was that because of the unpredictability of the leadership of the United States, they are also considered to be a threat to Greenland. Flavia Faustini, thanks for the follow. And Greenland has every right to do business with anyone they want to. 100% they profile. It's part of their job, so denying it's kind of messed up. Hat. Sure, but it is still sad. It's crazy to think that if he didn't work for a prominent white businessman in his city, he probably would have been deported to a country he's never even visited. That's the wildest thing, is like, because they deport those people like in completely wrong countries. Usually, like, one of their favorite places to deport people is El Salvador, the CSAT facility. And we have a right for war. Are you willing to go for war because your president didn't get a Nobel Peace Prize? That's a good question. That's a wild reason to lose all your allies and go to war. It's because your president is so butthurt that he didn't get the Peace Prize. China and Russia, you truly support that. Finish and you're criticizing America. Yeah? What's your point? Or do you just have ad hominems at this point? Like, there's a reason why China and Russia hasn't taken Greenland. It's because of NATO Article 5 and 6. Also the 1951 US-Denmark agreement, defense agreement of Greenland. So, I mean, that's kind of a slam dunk right there. What if the states give Greenland the option for annexation? With what authority does the United States do that? Like, even the Greenlanders themselves have said that there will be a time that they want to be independent from Denmark, but they will never be completely independent because they want to have those things as well that Denmark has. And they have the referendum option. They're autonomous already. What up, Moski? No, none of the Greenlanders want US to take over. Seen plenty of interviews. Well, oh my fucking god. From Fox News, probably. I have zero tolerance for this today. Sorry about that. But if you're watching biased news about like some fucking social media influencers going to Greenland and speaking to tourists who are in Greenland, yeah, by all means, go for it. Beg to differ, lol. America won't be allowed anywhere. What do they expect? A red carpet? Historically, Denmark didn't give Greenland a choice. Yeah, that is true. I've seen people taking DNA tests to find any connections to European countries to apply for citizens. Yeah. Trump said there will be no peace because Norway didn't give him a Nobel Peace Prize. I know. That is... Trump is speedrunning to become a worse person than Vladimir Putin, and that's fucking... Putin worked for the reputation that he has for decades, but Trump speedrun that in a year. American here, keep in mind our MAGAs are in the minority but yell the loudest. That is true. That's why they love coming to the chat and yell all sorts of stupid stuff. Also, you look so young. Hey, thanks. Would they accept 500,000 euros to live? I mean, this just tells you everything about a Republican in the United States, because like it was in Fox News. One of the Fox News anchors was wondering, like, they were calling them paid protesters in Greenland, because who would not want 100,000, six number figure to become a part of the United States? Well, I don't know, somebody who doesn't want to, like, it's not about money for everyone. And that's something that Republicans, and especially people in Fox News, that shouldn't be even called news, because even they had to say it in the court case against Tucker Carlson, that they are not actually news, they're entertainment, that it's not all about money. The ICE thing is crazy. Like, will they arrest tourists? I mean, I'm definitely gonna be arrested. I can show you the latest memes that I have in my phone, so they're gonna just fucking hold me. So yeah, they're definitely gonna. That's Miss Teen Venezuela. Yeah, I'm not gonna get through fucking border. No, they're gonna hold me in the border, literally, to Guantanamo Bay. They're gonna ban you. I mean, they're not even gonna ban me. They're gonna just instantly cuff me and send me to Guantanamo Bay as a domestic terrorist, or a like foreign terrorist situation. He's still your president, just like Sleepy Joe and Crackpot Barry was ours. If I go to New York as a tourist, will I be arrested by ICE? I mean, I don't think so. But it's hard to get a tourist visa nowadays. Like, you need to provide them 5 years of your history in social media activity. Also, all the emails, all the people you associate with. So if you have family, for example, a wife and 2 kids, you need to provide those information as well. So, freedom! So I'm curious what info Trump has that's making him making these choices. I mean, it's literally what I said in my most recent video. MAGA and Republicans have been howling for years that no woman can be the president of the United States because they would nuke other countries because of their hormones or because of their emotions. I don't agree with that, because no woman has started a world war, big wars in general. So I think women leaders would be way better than men. And now we have an emotional leader in the United States that is so butthurt about not receiving a Nobel Peace Prize that he is willing to fuck over all the allies, fuck over all the agreements, because he didn't get a Nobel Peace Prize. So I'm sorry, but maybe it's not about the women. Maybe it's about, like, I don't know, Trump. All about his ego. 100%. One of the most fragile egos ever. Just giving a peace prize. No, like, anyone who's a parent knows when your child is fucking having a hissy fit because he didn't get what he wanted, because you said no. The right answer is not giving them that thing. And Trump is acting like a fucking toddler. Republicans need to grow a spine. Congress needs to fucking step in and said that, no, you're not doing this. You're not fucking over our allies. Yo, bro, you do reach on Maharashtra. Unfortunately, I'm sorry I didn't because of Trump. That was on my to-do list, and unfortunately, Finland should mind their own business. No. Free speech, bitches. I can talk whatever I want to, about whatever I want to. You don't need to agree. You might agree. I don't care. This is what I feel, based on what I read. Trump was literally a celebrity wrestler. Everything is just a numbers game for him. He's given up on being a beloved celebrity and decided to be a genuine villain. Keep your mouth off America's issue. You have no idea what I'm talking about. Sorry, Jeremiah, but I think I've proven a lot of the time that I know more about your stuff than you yourself, because you read biased news only that highlight the things that you want to talk to. Just me, thanks for the follow. Sulla on Iron. Yeah. Of course I do. My mother-in-law sent it to me from Finland. Troy Wander, thanks for the follow. I would also like to talk about the elections in India, but Trump decided differently. Dude, our horse knows more than most of it. It has nothing to do with black or white. Is there again? Republicans are the party of the 1%. I mean, yeah. What news do you watch? Well, depends if I'm reading, like, for example, Indian news. I read Hindustan Times. I read the Hindu. There's Al Jazeera. There's Fox News. There's CNN. There's The Independent. There's Wall Street Journal. There's New York Times. I think the only thing that a lot of people use is New York Post, and I don't use that. Also, I read a lot of local news. For example, Tennessee Herald is a thing that I've been reading quite a lot in the past. There's a few Canadian local ones that I read. I read a lot of local news, like really small news, from small towns and cities as well. And the reason why you need to read quite a few different news sources is because they usually emphasize different things. So you kind of need to know, you need to have that media critical view of viewing things. Jape, thanks for the share. Lynn, thanks for the follow. Europe will always fight to see who is the head of the new world order. What? Everyone have it in Finland. Yeah, I know that, and they are really good. Like if you want a good thermostat, like yeah, buy it from Finland. Inhuman society. What? Inhuman society. Imagine assuming you know someone's political by hearing a vague accent and seeing a flag in bio. Everyone is a liberal till it's time to grow up and you realize we have a legacy and can't just act like kids. No, I think it's the other way around, you dumb fuck. I think everybody pretends to be a capitalist and a right-winger. Well, not even a capitalist, that was a bit of a wrong start, but right-winger until they figure out that, oh my god, the leaders that I've been selecting is actually fucking me in the ass, and they're just looking after themselves, so maybe I should actually start thinking about people around me. It's the other way around usually. Hakka päälle, veli. Thanks, Captain Slog. Trump should be in prison for life at this point of time. I mean, I would be all for that. Yeah, 100%. I like the independent guys these days. I think the independent guys are actually the only like option, because like Democrats are shit. Majority of the Democrats, just like majority of the Republicans. I think there's a handful of Republicans that are like decent, and there's a handful of Democrats that are decent. But like, yeah, I don't envy people in the United States, because you only have two parties and you kind of need to sell your soul if you want to vote a person, because the party is dictating what they are going to do. And unfortunately, the party in the right in the United States means MAGA, which means Trump, and the party on the left, which is Democrat, means the fucking Democratic Shadow Council that actually makes the decisions instead of like the candidates themselves. You don't even live in like, what is this? Tommy, thanks for the follow. Like, this is an American thing that, oh, because you don't live here, you can't have an opinion about this. Yeah, I can. Like, that's what free speech is about. Badger, thanks for the follow. fuck Trump, thanks for the follow as well. Like, what the hell? Both parties serve the billionaires. One is nice about it, and the other's wretched. Both serve the same. Oh yeah, 100%. Wild Thrill, thanks for the follow. Whenever it's convenient for you, we can discuss this further via Zoom meeting. Oh yeah, like, that is on my to-do list. Once, hopefully, Trump at some point calms down, or I don't know, falls asleep. Kelly, thanks for the follow. As long as I make some money, everything else is okay. Will the Thrill. Urban, thanks for the follow. But your opinion is irrelevant. You're not American. I mean, if you need to attack a person because of his opinions, or in this case, facts, you kind of lost it. Like, you're going ad hominem again. Like, what about you talk about that topic itself? There is no free speech in Europe. Well, that's correct again. Ignorance speaking right there, because there is free speech. So we take Venezuela, now we want to take New Zealand. New Zealand? When did we switch to New Zealand? When did Trump want all of a sudden to take the land of the Kiwis? Like, what? What? When did we jump to New Zealand? Yeah, you can have an opinion, but it don't matter. Your country ain't big enough to matter. I mean, Jeremiah, I salute you if you're so fucking happy about having such a demented fucking leader. I mean, that is willing to screw all the alliances because he didn't get a Nobel Peace Prize. Something that a complete narcissist who has a fragile ego would do. And to be fair, we've seen that throughout the second year of his tenure, because like every decision he makes an emotional decision. Oh, you said a bad thing about me. Well, I'm not going to send any funds to your state. Oh, that country said, one of the PMs in that country said a bad thing about me. I'll fucking throw 200% tariffs on you. Oh no, a random citizen in that one specific country said a bad thing about me. I'm gonna tariff the fuck out of that. That's an emotional leader that you guys have at the moment. Pearl, thanks for the follow. You can have an opinion about Irish people, probably wouldn't appreciate you getting involved in Irish politics unless you were on track to become an Irish citizen. What the US does has outside influence in the world, so it's more acceptable. But yeah, but I do. I need to be here for another year, and then I can apply for an Irish citizenship. But they do value takes from an outsider, actually. At least the people in my town value. Because I look at it from the outside perspective. And they have been living here for a long time, so it's not the same in the big cities, though. But it kind of depends. Like in Cork, when I lived in Cork, like people used to like to talk about politics as well. Like, I think that's more of an American thing. Like in Finland also, like we didn't really care where you're from. If you knew what you're talking about, if you knew about the politics, we would have a discussion. The red shields around the world, everywhere, leaders are puppets. What do they make in stupid Finland? We want towards New Zealand. That's where all the billionaires are building their compounds. I mean, what the fuck is this New Zealand thing? I didn't know we're invading New Zealand as well. Did Trump already wake up from his afternoon nap? Or are we getting some content from Trump? Or is he still sleeping? You're welcome to visit us anytime. I mean, I wouldn't get through the borders though. Summer in Finland. It's a month, I think. Super hot for a month, then it's miserable. Rock Gnarly, thanks for the follow. Yeah, Finland's summer is really short. Vilda Thrill, thanks for the 2026 in heart as well. Who the fuck wanna go to the US? Massachusetts is a place I want to go. Like the state of Massachusetts. Historically, that's a really cool place to go. Definitely want to go there. Annalise KC, thanks for the follow. That's why he's so quiet. I mean, he's sleeping still. Yes, I agree, Alicia. You should only be allowed to think Finnish, though. Let's talk about Finland in Suomi. Yeah. I mean, it is kind of... That's such a American way of thinking. Because they don't fucking know what's going on around the world. They just know what's happening inside their bubble. So I understand that they're really up in arms when somebody talks about what's happening in their country, because a lot of Europeans, there's a lot of Europeans in the chat at the moment. So a lot of us Europeans, we are interested in things happening around different countries and also around the world. That's just how we are. As the leader of Europe, I can say that is what we are. Truth doesn't not exist. Thanks for the rose. Sociology DR, thanks for the follow. It's called being adults. I'm seeking your support to expand a political party. Yeah. Corona, thanks for the share. Can you adopt or foster us from the US? I don't know. I have 2 kids already, so if I ever will adopt anyone, it's gonna be after my kids move away. At some point. Hello again, what up, the lovable stoner? Welcome to the shit show of people being mad about me because I talk about the United States and I'm not American, so. El Marquis, thanks for the follow. Picoveli. What are we talking about? People are not just used to his leadership. Yes, I am not used to my leader alienating allies because they didn't win a prize. True, I am not used to that. I have never seen it on my 36 years that my leader of my country has never alienated allies because they didn't win a prize. Slaygirl, thanks for the follow. That is 100% facts. That is something unique to Trump. That he's so butthurt not getting the Nobel Peace Prize that he will literally say that peace is off the table. I can say that that's never happened before. Probably will never happen again. Kaylee, thanks for the follow. Taflian, thanks for the follow. And also, Acido Melette, thanks for the follow. And Bullshit, thanks for the follow. I mean, I just hope that Republicans in Congress cross a spine. Because Trump is speedrunning to a point that none of his allies or the world will trust ever what he says or what deals he makes. The same as Putin. And if like the Republicans in Congress can't see that threat, they're fucking stupid. And they deserve it. Miguel, thanks for the follow. Agaro, thanks for the follow. Why do you think 1/5 or 1/5 to 1/3 of young Americans can't find the US on a world map? I mean, maps are big. Maybe that's the reason. Trump was a failed businessman and only given legitimacy because of reality TV. Thomas Massey one of the funniest interviews was like, he's 91% voting with Trump, but the 2 things he's voting against are the Epstein files and also taking military actions and regime change. So those are the 2 things he's voting against. Congress are jellyfish and jellyfish can't grow spines. I mean, Congress has protected a literal PDF. True. Education system sucks. I guess that's a bit like depending on the state, though. There are states where the education system is quite okay. You've seen where people ask Croc to remove the bad president in a photo of Trump and Xi. I've seen a lot of those. Yes, rural America, no. Epstein and Diddy were victims of government lying. Okay. Come to the United States, you will fall in love with us. I mean, I would probably only see the United States if I ever land on the soil of the United States. I would see the mainland of the United States from another plane flying to El Salvador because of my memes. Because there's no free speech in the United States. Oh, this is gonna be this is rage bait, so if anybody falls for that. Exactly, USA is number one, but votes don't matter, nothing matters really. All that matters is what you do as a man and if you are prepared. What? Jeremiah, NATO Article 5, Article 6, 1951 Danish and American defense treaty for Greenland. Read that, shut the fuck up. Can you see how many % of your audience is in USA? After the stream, I think I can see it. But it's quite a lot because I can see the comments though. I bet you type cult and other munchers a lot. What? Trump cult followers, many more than you will ever know. I mean, it is kind of a cult though. And this is the thing I say almost every stream, but the reason why people are so mad when Trump does stupid stuff that you would normally condemn, but now that your whole personality is tied into that specific group and that specific cult, when anyone criticizes Trump, and you would want to criticize Trump because what he's doing is like, for example, the Nobel Peace Prize butthurt. It's a dumb thing to do, but people can't acknowledge that because their whole personality is MAGA. So when somebody attacks a clear fucking dumb shit that Trump does, they take it as a personal attack on them. Brenda Lee, thanks for the follow. Eric, thanks for the follow as well. Brenda Lee, thanks for the heart as well. And that's the issue here. Because if you can't even say that what Trump did, the letter that Trump sent to Norway was stupid, and you need to fucking, like, for some reason protect that, like, it's fragile. You've lost the game already. Like, you've lost it. That's a cult. That's a fucking cult. For example, Biden was a shit president. I'm not a Democrat or so Republican, so it's really easy for me to criticize both sides of the aisle. Biden was a horrible president. Obama was a borderline war criminal for using drone strikes for US citizens. I was really mad at Bernie Sanders when Bernie Sanders originally, like years ago, was downplaying what Israel was doing to Palestinians. Now he has turned around with that, but I still have that in the back of my mind. But it is wild that none of Trump's supporters can acknowledge any bad thing that Trump does. Any. And so Biden wasn't a good president, though. It is wild. Not a single one. I can also acknowledge that Trump fighting the pharmaceutical companies is a really good thing. That's the beauty of actually having a fucking personality, thinking for yourself, not listening to some fucking leader who is actually a puppet telling you what to think. Grow a fucking spine, grow a personality. It's easier for you to live your life because you don't need to jump through hoops to make excuses for really fucking bad decisions. Or Irene, thanks for the follow. Name one Biden lover, only Trump haters. Exactly, Jeremiah is a good example in YouTube that can't even acknowledge that the fucking letter that he sent to Norway was a complete fucking toddler tantrum from a bruised ego that he didn't get the Nobel Peace Prize. Let's mass like the stream, guys, and get more Americans in here. There's too many Americans already. It's their nationalist mindset. They can't think independently. The letter was embarrassing. Exactly. Okay, all the Trump supporters here, try and say it one more time. The letter was embarrassing. Say it. It's easier to say that the letter was embarrassing than, for example, that Trump fucked up with the farmers. But the pharmaceutical fighting against the pharmaceutical companies is a good thing. That is a good thing. You guys hurt my feelings. The letter was embarrassing. Come on, you can do it. I don't think they can. At least I wish you a good stream, but the levels of ineptitude displayed by the resident goon squad is actually driving me back to drink. No. You should see TikTok. Like, TikTok is literally a fucking cesspool of, like, America's shitting on me. His little letter read like an elementary student in a short essay. Yeah. A literal, like, child that they wanted candy. And their parents said that you can't have candy. And then they threatened to beat the neighbor's kid. That's 2 years younger. You know? Olivia, thanks for the rose. When TT switches over, they're definitely going to be surveilling our comments. Oh yeah, 100%. 100%. And my videos about Israel is probably gonna make me, like, be a part of the terrorist watch group that they have. Even though I'm just criticizing Netanyahu and the government of Israel, like, because those are the ones that I have issues with. And I'm also condemned Hamas, so come on. What other platforms can I follow you on? In my bio, there's a link tree, and there's Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, even Twitter if you want to. There's more spicy things in Twitter if you want to. Top Darker, thanks for the heart. Go popular. Andy, thanks for the follow. L, Peaceful Crow. Zoinks, thanks for the... We want Israel out of our government. I mean, APAC is a real thing. So I don't think it's that controversial to say that APAC is paying a lot of... There's other foreign interest groups in the United States, but APAC is the only one that doesn't need to register as a foreign interest group, like a foreign nation interest group, which is kind of interesting. Faith Lepang, thanks for the follow. Discard White, thanks for the follow. I'm guessing the cult has called you Rhino for voicing your morals. What did Sunrise say? Just a sec, I'll scroll upwards. This is always... I'm an American conservative who has known since 2016 that Trump is no good. I mean, Ted Cruz knew 2016 that Trump is a problem. Lindsey Graham also knew. Lindsey Graham and Ted Cruz both warned that Trump is a fucking insane person, that Trump is gonna create a lot of issues for the United States. J.D. Vance called Trump a Hitler. J.D. Vance also said that Trump is delusional. So, all the major Republicans that back then said the same things are now licking Trump's boots. Like, literally. One of them is the vice president of the country, and he called Trump a Hitler. Jerry, thanks for the follow. Yeah, J.D. Vance was a never Trump guy. Mr. Trump is just a rich brat. Oh, yeah, 100%. Who will get our tax money if Israel leaves the US? I can take... No, just kidding. I don't need to. I pay my taxes to Ireland, so... As long as they keep countries divided, they win. This is everything. Oh, yeah. How will we find you when they take over TikTok? Facebook, YouTube, Instagram. I have... It's the same username as you guess... Where's my finger? It's the same username everywhere. Like, if you go to a social media platform, you say, search my username, you will find me. Kinetic Chill, thanks for the follow. Yeah, TT is cooked, I'm afraid. Chris Lamrock, steel and stone knives. Oh, what the hell is that? I hope you create knives. Sorry for going to your profile, but... Damn. I was hoping you were creating knives. Simply Buck, thanks for the sub. Erin Smith, thanks for the follow. Lynn, thanks for the follow. I don't usually do that, go to the profiles of anybody who comments, but that was a cool username, so I had to go and check it out. DJT is doing way more good than countless others. Dem's brainwash, you hate him. I mean, Vinny, here's a bit of a truth bomb to you. Who trusts Putin at the moment? Nobody. Just a handful of countries. Not even them, they trust him because they've seen him like lie so much and also go back on agreements. Trump is there now. So Congress needs to act. Trump is doing more harm for the United States. Trump is pushing allies towards east, not west. So, did Trump offer Putin a position on the Board of Peace? Yes. Yes, he did. Yes, he fucking did. So Trump offered Putin a position in the Board of Peace. And also Trump offered Lukashenko, who's the dictator of Belarus. To be fair, Belarus is an interesting place because it's kind of already a part of Russia. Sunrise, thanks for the follow. So Lukashenko doesn't really have any power over anything important because he gave that power to Putin. But yeah, Trump created Board of Peace. You need to pay $1 billion and ask Putin and Lukashenko to be there. The weird thing about the Board of Peace is like Netanyahu and the Israeli government is against it. Well, the reason is because they want the whole Palestine for themselves and Trump doesn't want to give them that Palestine. So, how quickly people forgot about the Russian P tapes. NATO is not global power without the USA. I just did my taxes. I owe Somalia. Okay. I read the news and I was literally speechless. Oh yeah, the Russia thing. Remember when MAGA recognized Putin as a human threat? I bet that changed too. Oh yeah. They probably think that Democrats are a bigger threat to the United States than Putin. Because they like... Trump loves Putin, so MAGA needs to lick Trump's boots, so MAGA thinks Putin is okay. A beacon of democracy, a beacon of human rights. Putin. I don't understand why he keeps saying he's ended 8 wars. It's the same reason he says that he's gonna lower the fucking truck prices by 1,300%. Because he's an idiot. Real bad kitty too. Sorry about being so blunt, but I'm kind of over this already. There's nothing in Palestine, just a dusty desert. What? There's almost 1 million people still in Palestine, in humane society. Let's not dehumanize them. Thank you. They are living in insufferable conditions. Women and children are dying. And the main reason why it's almost completely in rubble is because Israel has carpet bombed the fucking whole thing. 70,000 plus dead civilians in the past 3 years. 40,000 about women and children. Let's not dehumanize that conflict. Noah, thanks for the follow. Mr. Thanks for the follow. Tim also. That is something that I don't accept at all. People suffering and dying and somebody downplaying it. Not Bill, thanks for the follow. LT, thanks for the follow as well. Like, ever since 2004, I've been following that conflict, which is, if you think about it, it's 22 years. And I've seen people justify the killing for 22 years. And still is. India, thanks to the follow, Brandy as well. And it is disgusting. It's the same sort of rhetoric that horrible people, horrible leaders have always used. They justify the killing. They make it acceptable for the normal human beings to have a conversation by dehumanizing the enemy, the opponent. And in this case, they are dehumanizing civilians. And yet nobody has done anything. And that is super fucking sad. I've said it many times. The international body of countries, like majority of the countries, should have gone there and forcefully stopped the whole fucking thing. Years ago, decades ago. But they haven't. When you call people you kill, when you justify the people you kill by saying that you're mowing the lawn, you are getting rid of cockroaches, telling that if you have rats inside your house, you want to get rid of them, don't you? These are words from the ministers throughout the decades that have been justifying the killing of Palestinians, comparing them to insects, animals, subhuman species, even fucking grass. You think that's normal? It's the, like, if you want to make that connection to what's happening in the US at the moment, why the fuck do you think the first thing that Kristi Noem and Stephen Miller tweeted without any investigation was to say that Rene Good was a domestic terrorist? Why the fuck do you think that happened? It's because they dehumanize the person so you can justify the death. Fucking blind people everywhere. Xandrix, thanks for the follow. In human society, you really need to investigate a bit about the Palestinian situation. Where the fuck do they go? Where the fuck do they go in Gaza? And if they run, snipers will shoot them. We have so many cases that kids are found with sniper fucking bullet holes in their heads. Where do they go? They kill journalists. They kill aid workers. Butterfly, thanks to the follow. But that's why they do that. Like, they dehumanize people that then people say stupid stuff like, well, you should just move away. It's their home. When you ask, like, I've seen interviews when journalists were allowed in Palestine. Not anymore because they're getting shot. But when they were allowed in Palestine, they were interviewing children. And when they say that, when asked, what do you want to be when you grow up? And they answer, alive. I mean, if that doesn't make you sad, you're just fucking completely locked off from the reality. Jack Bill, thanks for the follow. GSR Music, thanks for the follow. Lopez as well. Liz, thanks for the follow as well. Mickey as well, thanks for the follow. Sorry for the rant about like Palestine, but I get really fucking furious when people spout stupid stuff like that. Because we are talking about children dying. We're talking about innocent lives taken. Annie, thanks for the follow, and Dax as well. It's like... There's been a spiritual evolution, people who were emotionally are more so people who weren't. I mean, what's happening in Palestine isn't a secret, though. There's a lot of information available. And like, of course, if you're just newly starting to follow the situation, I understand you can have a polarized opinion because there's a lot of right-wing outlets. And also it just was like proven that Israeli government has spent a lot of money influencing news and topics around Israel to be more positive, like more Israel positive. But if you follow the conflict even half as long as I have, like, you can see the picture that it hasn't evolved in a night. But if you just started following after 2023, I understand that you might have a bit of a skewed view what's been going on, but it has been going on for fucking decades. Guys, we have our own families to worry about. Yeah. Me worrying about my family doesn't take away that I'm worried about other children and innocent lives taken. Cindy, thanks for the follow. And now we know the United States went to Vietnam because of a lie. Over a million Iraqis died in the 2000s, and that was also based on a lie. I'm a pacifist. I hate war. I hate death. That's why I hate it when people glorify death and justify death because of bullshit reason. The Joyful Pig, thanks for the follow. My dad is brainwashed. He posts propaganda every day. It's sad and infuriating. You should ask your dad to come here. Alicia, you forgot that they don't understand logic. They don't understand that you can do both. Yeah, I mean... What was your stance when they killed Charlie Kirk? The same as anything else. Like, it's sad. Like, nobody has the right to take another person's life. And Charlie Kirk's death should have not happened. I might not agree with everything, a majority of the things that Charlie Kirk has said, but still, he didn't deserve to die. Easy as that. It's weird that I need to justify my opinions when it comes to this. The same as, even though Trump is doing a lot of bad things to the world and for the citizens of the United States, you might not feel it now, but you will eventually. I still don't think the assassination attempt on Trump was any way justified. No way justified. Time is gonna kill you. That is fine. Time and yourself are the only ones that can take your life. That is my stance. You might not like it, but that is my stance. Taking a bath has done nothing for those. Maga thinks just because we didn't agree with Charlie Kirk's rhetoric that we wanted him dead. I mean, there was a lot of people celebrating Charlie Kirk's death. And I think that's disgusting. The same way as Maga were celebrating about Rene Goodstead. That's disgusting. And same way we're going to see when Joe Biden is eventually going to pass away because he has cancer and also he's really fucking old. We're going to see a lot of MAGA people celebrating that. Saying a lot of like horrible words. Just like when Rob Reiner died. Drusilla, thanks for the follow. Just like when Rob Reiner died. A lot of MAGA people were celebrating Rob Reiner dying. Trump was one of them. The shooting, you really think they would let him raise his fist on? I mean, there's a lot of things sus in the shooting itself, but of course we don't have any proof of that, so it's really hard to say. Are you finished? No, I started an hour ago. I think I'm gonna be here for another 30 minutes. Badumts. Sorry, that was a bit of a finished show. Most Republicans don't celebrate death. That's Democrats. I mean, if you live in a bubble, yes. But when Rob Reiner died, your gracious leader make it his life goal to take the last jab at him, and then others followed suit. Glad only 100 people are listening to you. Only. I think that's quite a nice amount if you think about it. Like if you think about it, that's like a big auditorium already. Like not a big one, a small one. But 100 people are listening to me talking about morals and not celebrating other people's deaths, and also having sympathy for a group of people who have been killed and put under genocide for years and decades. Yeah, I think that's like kind of fun. That's kind of cool that 100 people are actually listening to that. Maybe you will learn as well. Maybe you should also listen a bit longer. What is the like? Angelina, thanks for the follow. Yeah, death is normal. Like time and yourself. But if you want to say death is normal when somebody shoots you, then it's not normal. You need to go to church, bro. I don't believe, so I don't go to church. Reno, thanks for the follow. Mr. Nice Guy, we don't know because apparently 0.5% of the Epstein files have been released, and we do know that Trump is in the Epstein files, so. And Trump has said some unhinged shit when it comes to underage girls, so. Americans need to hear the Scandinavian opinion. We need. Oh, whoa, Chehar. Pump your brakes there. I am not Scandinavian. I'm Nordic. I'm Finnish. That I don't care about if you say that to any other Finn, they might take offense to that. Finns aren't Scandinavian. Finns are Nordic. But that's a joke, yeah. But there are Finns who are really butthurt about that. Crazy, thanks for the heart. Intelligent people value the opinions of others. I can't believe people think he's innocent. It's coming out that he's the whole file. That's why the files need to be released, but Trump is doing everything he can. He's willing to invade Venezuela, invade Greenland, just not to release the Epstein files. Which is wild if you think about it. That's some like avoiding the topic. There's still no update of the rest of the files. No. They wanted to put some independent investigators for the files, but Pam Bondi did respond to that and said that no, you can't. So Pam Bondi even blocked the independent investigators for the file. He was a big mad over being called PDF protector. Proposed to call him PP for short. I mean, yeah. I said this in the stream when that happened. Like, if any of us, the 92 in TikTok and 12 in YouTube, if any of us were called and heckled a PDF protector anywhere, we wouldn't even react to, because they weren't talking about us. But if you were a PDF protector, you might say fuck you to that person and also show the finger, you know? If you were a PDF protector. Are you going to hold everybody accountable that's on those files? Oh yeah, 100%. Like Bill Gates, Bill Clinton, everybody. Like, I don't fucking care what's your political affiliation. Every single one. Fuck all of them. Well, not fuck all of them, but yeah, you know what I mean. I mean, I have a video about like Bill Clinton alone. Because I've known that Bill Clinton is in those files for years. Which, please, thanks for the follow, and also the Bee's Knees, thanks for the follow, and Patriarchy, thanks for the follow. Yeah, you're like, if you've lived under a rock and think that we didn't know things beforehand. Newsflash. We knew a lot of things. Ash, thanks for the follow. I think that we need a revolution in the United States. I would love that. Tyler Murray, thanks for the follow. Corridon also. You had the Second Amendment to fight against the tyrannical government, so... that's a bit of a leap in the other way. I'm just saying that you have the Second Amendment for that, so... In your dreams. I mean, yeah, it is my dreams. I'm always on the side of if citizens wants to rebel against their government because they are treated unwell. Like, this is my favorite list. Last year, Nepal, Sri Lanka, Bangladesh, Slovakia, Hungary, no, not Hungary, Bulgaria, Peru. Did I forget something? I probably forgot someone. Philippines. All of those had revolutions. It had some... East Timor as well had one, because the citizens weren't satisfied what the government was doing, and they changed. I am all for... I enjoy your life, thank you. Hey, thanks, Dale Mary. Thanks for the heart as well, and Drusilla as well. Yeah. Always up for a bit of a revolution. Citizens need to remember that you outnumber the government, so... If you think you don't have any chance against the government, just look around you. They're happening all around the world. Iran is like on the border of on a revolution as well. I'm all for that because I've known the struggle of Iranians since the early 2000s when I started reading about like what happened in the 70s and 80s in Iran. Erika, thanks for the follow. Mr. Nice Guy is taking a break, generously approved by yours truly. But yeah, fuck no. Second Amendment. Beautiful revolution. Inhumane society. During COVID, did you call your government Nazis for requiring mask mandates and also to have a vaccine passport? Brandy, thanks for the follow. Clover Poodle, thanks for the follow, and Silent Observer as well. Because a lot of people that are now saying you just need to comply to protesters in Minnesota were the ones that were saying during COVID that you shouldn't comply and you should fight the government because the government is acting like Nazis. I think it's more about like who's leading. Brandy, thanks for the follow. Thanks for the Go Popular, the 19 of them. Americans aren't angry enough and haven't fought for their freedom before. And they are wearing masks. Oh yeah, that's true. They are the ones now wearing masks. But no, they didn't want to go out with mask or get the jab. Elvis Trump, thanks to follow. Don't tread on me crowd is now saying we'll help you tread on them. I mean, I saw a lot of MAGA influencers saying that they need to start carrying around or even have like visible IDs all around. I mean, they could just make them wear a star, you know? Maybe that's a bit more familiar. Has anyone told you that you look like a love child of Matt Smith, Doctor Who, and Ozzy Osbourne? God damn. Uncle Drencher Neighborhood, thanks for the follow. Or the Mark of the Beast. Workers' Revolution have worked in America before. Bzz Love, thanks for the follow as well. They were in action like the government was coming to their house and stabbing them with needles. Are you a musician? I have a guitar back there. Yeah. That child owns 500 businesses, 5-star skyscraper hotels, golf resorts all over the world. Became president first try. How's your average? What? If you voted for that guy, to be fair, he was going against Hillary. Not taking anything away from Trump for the first, election, but my fucking God. You could have taken a rock, literal, a rock from a desert. Like, you go to Nevada, and, not even Nevada, Arizona, and you find a rock on the ground. Put that against Hillary Clinton, and he would have won. Hillary Clinton's closet was so full of skeletons. It was literally 99% skeletons. Not taking anything away from Trump's first victory. Well, but I could have gone against Hillary. And of course, I wouldn't be eligible because I'm not a US citizen. But, the Democrats fucked that up. They could have selected anyone else. Anyone else. He didn't win the popular vote. That is true. Yeah, it's amazing what you can do when you're born into. They bankrupt many businesses. I mean, that's a business. His business was bankrupting businesses. The Democrats have to get it right this time or we lose America. Unfortunately, the best candidate for the Democratic Party is too old to run. And he has so much respect for the presidency that he even knew that he's too old to run 5 years ago. Oh no, 6 years ago. No, 7 years ago. And he's 1 year older than Trump. And he said 7 years ago that he's too old to run. Imagine if Biden or Trump had that fucking spine to say I'm too old to run. Bernie fucking Sanders. But he's too old to run. He said that 7 years ago. We need people under 50 in the government. I think the last conversation we had was 60 years would be the max. I love that. I think 60 years is the max would be great. DNC screwed Bernie over. I'm still I haven't gotten over it. Fuck me. The announcement from Bernie Sanders after they screwed him over, that was devastating. Yeah, 62 to being 68 if doing 2 terms, 100%. I don't think Gavin Newsom can win. Newsom, don't get me wrong, he stepped up quite a lot, but I think his skeletons from his earlier career is gonna come haunt him. And he still has some of those old characteristics. He's bending too much towards AIPAC still. But yeah, Newsom, is owned by AIPAC. But he does have those old characteristics, so I don't think Gavin Newsom is a perfect candidate for the Democrats. Plant a garden, boycott Walmart, make your own meals by local. But to be fair, when Trump passes away, I don't think the Republicans have a proper candidate. They can't put Stephen Miller because he's too much of a fucking crazy person who literally describes justifying rape, how he described how they can just go and take Greenland whether or not they want to, because they have more power. That's the thing that the Danish minister said about Stephen Miller. I can find it for you. And JD Vance has the personality of cardboard, so I don't think JD Vance can be that. Taylor Swift. Oh my god, that's a fucking curveball. Oh, wait.
Do as a good ally of the Americans, and we hope we can keep it that way and we don't become enemies.
Rasmus, you may be somewhat dismayed to hear what one of Donald Trump's senior advisors, Stephen Miller, had to say. Please take a listen to this. I'll get your reaction on the other side.
Denmark is a tiny country,
listen to
a
this,
tiny economy,
if
and
you
a
can.
tiny military. They cannot defend Greenland. They cannot control the territory of Greenland. Under every understanding of law that has existed about territorial control for 500 years, to control a territory, you have to be able to defend a territory, improve a territory, inhabit a territory. Denmark has failed on every single one of these tests.
Rasmus, you gave a pretty comprehensive answer, pretty much countering everything Stephen Miller had to say before I asked this question. But if you could say one thing to Stephen Miller...
Now, listen.
What would you like to say?
I hope he's kept away from young women, because that's the mentality of a rapist. You can't defend yourself, so I'm going to take you. That's basically what he's saying. And it has never been like that in international law that he's saying. On the contrary.
I hope he's kept away from young women, because that's the mentality of a rapist. You can't defend yourself, so I'm gonna take you. That is like, if I ever need to describe Stephen Miller to somebody that doesn't know who Stephen Miller is, that is how I'm gonna describe Stephen Miller. Like, perfect way to describe him. Anyone with common sense and can offer a reasonable solution would make a decent Democratic candidate. But that's the issue, because, like, they don't have many of them. And then, unfortunately, we need to remember that Rita Hartshock, thanks for the follow. Democrats, Republicans just say corporations. Oh. Apparently we already are moving towards, like, Russia and Putin being the good guy. Because Anna Paulina, Florida, oh my fucking god. Member of the Republican Party. It's already saying that it's a good thing. Not a surprise. Not a fucking surprise. Dexter Vexter Woo Woo, thanks for the follow. Who? Yeah, some Floridan Republican. US, I read many books. Out of the Deal by Donald Trump is my favorite. Oh my god. Corona, thanks for the follow. I think if you're American, which there's a lot of Americans here, here's a bit of a teaching moment for you when it comes to the political system. What has Trump's second tenure taught you about your current political system? Do you think it's a good thing that there is one person with so much power? Let's see how many of you actually think that it's a good thing. that you don't have those checks and balances. There is a concentrated power on one person that can literally fuck it up in a major way for everyone. Your question to them is generous. It implies Maka could actually learn from anything. Oh god. No. Honestly. Mr. Nice Guy went for a cooling for 5 minutes. All right, I'll teach you something from a European. For example, in Ireland or Finland, there is not a single person that could all of a sudden decide to, one person who can decide to occupy Venezuela or occupy Greenland or even threaten Greenland. You know why? Because our power isn't concentrated in one person. We do have a prime minister here and we have a president here. The same is in Finland. But the power isn't concentrated on them. The Finnish political system is one of my favorite ones because you have the justice system, you have the parliament, and then you have president. All have checks and balances of each other. President doesn't even have that many rights. That is a system that should be evident that the United States should need based on what's happened throughout the year. Because the Congress is powerless to do anything. The Justice Department is completely occupied by loyalists. So if you have a leader like this that surrounds himself with loyalists, he can fuck over the whole system. Please don't say Finnish. It is good. It is good. It is a better system than a lot of other systems. It's not perfect. Fuck no. But it is a better system than in a lot of places. It's taught me that we have a very weak means of overtaking a rogue leader. That is true as well. Congress is corrupted. I mean, it's full of yes men because they're afraid of their political career. That's the thing. Because they didn't understand the threat of Trump becoming a Republican back in 2015. And everybody else saw that coming. That once Trump is elected to president, that's the Republican Party. If you don't align with Trump, you're not in that party. Everybody saw that happen because that's how Trump operates. Has operated every fucking business he's ever been a part of. And now it's too late for the Republicans to do anything. Because also their voter base is mainly belonging to a cult called Trump. So if Trump decides to leave and form his own party, those fuckers will follow. So the Republican Party fucked over themselves. Even though many major Republican politicians like Ted Cruz and Lindsey Graham and they were against Trump. But he got his way. And now there is no Republican Party. It is Trump. Trump has surrounded himself with loyalists. Just like, was it yesterday when he said that he's gonna oust a member of the House because they're against Trump. They're gonna make sure that they're never getting elected again. He's surrounding himself with yes men, loyalists. Kind of sounds familiar again. Lindsey Graham is in the Trump files, 100%. Sounds familiar. Alfred8888, thanks for the Thunderhammer. I know a few leaders in history that has done the same. Replaced his party or his people surrounding him with loyalists. And if you go against the leader, you get ousted. Sometimes sent to a nasty little camp in Siberia. But I've seen that play in history. And none of the Republicans, for some reason. Well, they had to believe that they are also in that inner circle, until they're not. We've been warning Trump supporters for 10 years, they won't listen. I knew Trump was a shitty person long before the internet. The man has been a menace for his entire existence. Ei tämä Suomen hallitus toimi, mutta on se parempi kuin USA. Oh yeah, Trashy, that's what I mean. Like, it is not perfect in Finland, but at least you don't have that. Imagine if like Jani Mäkelä has the ultimate power in Finland. Imagine that. Yeah, I know. Here we are with women losing their rights. You don't understand what is going on. I do. Quite well. It's kind of wild that people don't actually like... television, it's wild that you don't understand what's been going on for over a decade. That is what is the Republican Party now. It is Trump. If you don't read the news, if you don't follow what's been going on, if you don't follow what Trump is doing, getting rid of people who are against him, literally going out of his way to publicly oust them, call them horrible names, urging everybody to alienate them. If you don't see that, I can't help you because I can't see for you. But do know that everybody else sees what's happening. They can see if they only watch Fox News. US controlled by a foreign country. I love you, Trump. Thanks. I'm not Trump, though. I wish you could be president for 10 years. Yeah, we have some. Tell us what you're talking about. We're talking about the Trump situation, which is a wide topic. Everything is going to be okay, guys. Don't let them scare you. I don't think so. And I don't think it benefits anyone if we play ostriches and put our heads in the sand. Republicans in the Congress needs to find the spine. That's the only way that toddler Trump can be stopped. I don't like US politics because they have two parties and they both shit. Korki, that's a good like way to summarize the whole thing. Like no cap like. The two-party system is one of the fucking worst inventions ever. But then again, you need to dumb down everything. Because if there's too many options, people get confused, you know? That's why, for example, when you go to McDonald's in the US, you have extra large and then you have gigantic. There's nothing in between because if there's too many options, like blood clot or heart failure, those are the sizes you have in McDonald's. Stop, you're just making yourself look stupid. Television, could you just point something that I say that? Big picture, irrelevant. These are your comments, not that. No. Are you a serious person? You don't understand what's going on? You don't contribute to the conversation at all. You don't have any opinions of your own. And that's not a surprise because you're a bot. Either you're a bot or you just blindly follow what the cult leader is saying. Again, educate yourself. Like, okay, to the shadow realm. Idiots like that. We learned from Europeans 80 years ago, Europe behaved just like Trump, remember? Does that justify what Trump is doing now? In human society. Do you think that justifies Trump doing it now? That's a weird, like, leap. I can agree with that. What's sad is that you know more about US politics than Maga does. That's because, like, I was grown up to read US politics. Like, my father was really interested in US politics. In Finland, we report US politics all the time. We are taught US politics in Finnish. We're taught to read news, what's happening around the world. We were taught about US history as well. It's the education system that you guys fear in the Americas so much. I appreciate what you're doing. It gives us another perspective of what other countries think of us. Again, US citizens. Here's my address to the nation now. I don't hate you. Even if you voted for Trump, you got swindled by a fraudster. I don't hate you. But you have still time to understand that what Mango Mussolini is doing is not for the good of you. He doesn't think of you when he's making decisions. We can see this when the first people he called before and after he struck Venezuela, killed 80 people and stole their dictator. He called the oil execs before, even though the oil CEO said that he didn't call, but he did call afterwards. And he's always talking about the oil companies' interest because they funded Trump's campaign. He thinks about his own interest groups, his own family. He doesn't give a fuck about you. But you still have time to realize that there are good politicians somewhere. We don't know where, but they're somewhere that are not just going to try and fill their own pockets and make sure that their kids have the best possible lives and that they get the most amount of money from crypto scams, golden Trump phones, or building resorts in Saudi Arabia for defense contracts. Yeah, that's a real thing. You need to check that. They built Trump's resort just fucking last week, and then they announced a defense contract. Think about that. Also, Saudi Arabia bought the Blu-ray rights for Melania movie, which is kind of wild. But no corruption there. But you still have time. I love every single American if you agree or disagree with me. So this is my thanks to all of you, and hope you have a great 2026. But if your name is Trump, whether you're Eric, Don Jr., fucking Bannon or what the hell his name is, or Donald Trump, fuck you. Thanks. That was my address for the nation. I don't think any politician can be fair. They are controlled. I mean, unfortunately, yes. Micah, thanks for the follow. Sorry for being kind of serious there for a second. Donald Trump's Jr.'s business is funded by our military. It is. I'm interested if they're going to allow them to investigate the drone business that he has, because Kristi Noem announced that they're going to send drones to every city to surveil people, which everybody all of a sudden is okay, mass surveillance on people, but that's a whole another topic. But the contract, who got that contract? Because Don Jr. has quite a few different drone companies that he bought just before the elections. Would be interesting to find out that if those are the companies that got the Pentagon deal. Ellie, thanks for the follow. But that's something a lot of people are not talking about. That they're literally planning to do mass surveillance. And all of a sudden it's a good thing. I've been against mass surveillance ever since I was fucking talking about that Snowden is a national hero for proving that the United States government is mass surveilling their own citizens more than they are surveilling everybody else in the world. But now it's good. Everybody agrees in Magaville that mass surveillance is a good thing. Buffalo Freebird, thanks for the follow. That's a fucking awesome username as well. Don't understand how I'm not media literate. We're not talking about it here. No, of course not, because the news feed in the United States is constantly like refreshed every 8 hours. So when Christian Nolan said that, everybody already forgot about it, because if I remember correctly, that was the first threat that Trump made to Greenland. So all of a sudden you forget about that. You never heard about that, because there's more pressing news coming on top of it. Then there's more pressing news. That's why a lot of people have forgotten about the Epstein files already, because they're just hammering you with news all the time. Euphoria, thanks for the follow. Tell us about Yle, your opinion. I mean, if we're only talking about the news from Yle, there's good reporting and there's bad reporting. If we're talking about the programs that Yle does, I don't really watch them, so I can't really have a opinion, but I do think like an archive of national TV shows and like the history of news and such, I think that's a valuable thing. I don't see any problems with, like, when I lived in Finland, my tax dollars going towards Yle. But I understand that a lot of people don't understand that. They're putting one terrible thing in front of us in front of another. Yes. I'm talking about the news and how most media in Finland being left-sided. I wouldn't say it's that much if you go and compare it to like NBC or CNN. But I can see where that's coming from. And there's a lot of reporters in Yle is actually like left-leaning liberals. But also, just because they're reporting something that a right-winger was doing doesn't mean that they're untrustworthy. Does Trump speak Russian? He better. He's been licking the oligarchs and Kremlin for so long. I would assume that he knows Russian. But then again, Gorky, I don't really read only one news source, so I would stay away from MV-lehti. Donald Trump is treating, well, Truth Social in everything else except about the Greenland. He can barely speak English. Who, me? Oh, Trump. Hey, Drusilla, thanks for the blow a kiss. And Stephen Wingmar and Tom the Tomato. What are these? Stephen Wingmar, Slay. I love those. Send rainbows as well. Robin Hood, we take it from the poor and give it to the rich. I mean, that's literally the motto of MAGA. Yeah, well, not MAGA, but like the Democratic leadership and the Republican leadership. Melania probably can speak Russian. I mean, she can't speak English though, but like, if Melania, if ICE didn't know who Melania is, he would be deported. ICE would capture her because they do racial profiling based on accents. Oh my god, dude, you're so obsessed with Trump. Maybe because Mango Mussolini is doing stupid stuff. But we actually talked about the train accident today in Spain. Literally, if you were in my streams before Trump started doing stupid shit, we were talking about news happening around the world because there was things like major things happening around the world. But now, because Trump is acting like a fucking child, we are talking about Trump. When Trump either passes away from old age or from the disease, or Republicans and Congress is gonna, get rid of him, then we can return to normal, hopefully. Can you decipher that, please? I'm not being rude. I'm just can't understand. What are we talking about? Yeah, like, I don't know about the left-sideness, but like if they're gonna make people quiet. Look at the way they're on this live with their incoherent comments. I mean, Melania is Slovenian, though. True. He's the most hated man in the world, so who knows how long he's gonna live. Donald Trump isn't disciplined enough to learn another language. But I hope... I mean, it's the 19th of January. So we have time to have other things happening around the world. I really want to investigate and talk about the Indian elections that they had, because the outcome was historical in India. Unfortunately, Trump sent a letter to Norway, blaming them for not giving a peace prize that the Norwegian government doesn't even give. I would be nice if you could go back, but I'm not sure how long that could take. His professor said he was the stupidest man in his class. But his cousin, like his uncle, was in MIT. Remember? How will we be received at the Olympics next month? Received at the Olympics next month? I don't know. It's probably going to be the same as you had in the Four Nations Cup in NHL. Or yesterday when there was the NBA match in Great Britain when somebody yelled, stay away from Greenland, and the crowd erupted. And then when you compare that eruption to the applause that the national anthem got, there was a bit of a difference there. 36 Olympics. Yeah. In human society, I have a bit of a question for you. What do you think you gain from giving your unwavering support for Trump? You think you're going to benefit from it? Just like not judging, but just curious. What do you think you're going to gain? You think you belong in the 1% that actually benefits from it? Really more than one source of news ain't that clever use of game mechanics. What? Reading more than one source of news ain't that clever use of game mechanics. You'll get banhammer soon, probably. I'm defending my country, but I have nothing against your country. That's the issue that, like, in this conversation, that you think that me attacking Trump personally is attacking the whole country. Trump isn't representing, based on his acts and how he acts, the whole United States. You only attack MAGA. No, I've been talking shit about the Democrats as well. Tell that person, Chad. I was criticizing Democrats just a while ago. Like, literally probably 30 minutes ago. A bit more, 40 minutes ago. Time passes by when you're having fun. I would never be so obsessed about one person in my government or the leader of my country that I couldn't call bullshit when I see that. But that is a difference. And that comes to you with experience, and like once you awaken from that. When something bad enough happens. But as Trump said that he could literally kill a person and people would just be okay with it. I think that's the quote, right? Blue butterfly. Oh my fucking god, that is one of the best things I've seen in a while. We have to put feelings aside and put world security first by keeping NATO. And just like, I don't know, stop attacking countries. Fucking easy. Yeah, he could shoot someone on 5th Avenue and he wouldn't lose his support. Yes. Are you in Finland? You sound like my mother who is Finnish. Yes. If we don't want to have a threat for national security, stop fucking bombing other countries. Stop doing regime change. Stop stealing their natural resources. And stop acting like a fucking child. You wouldn't need to increase your defense budget by 500 billion if you weren't a threat to the rest of the fucking world. When a person's entire personality and character are wrapped around someone like Trump, they'll fight you. And yeah. Because they feel like it's pointed at them personally. 100%. 100%. And it's not just like MAGAism and Trumps. It's like anything. That's why I have my wife and my kids calling me out when I'm like turning into idolizing somebody a bit too much. Like I had a phase where I was idolizing Bernie Sanders a bit too much. And then Bernie Sanders decided to turn on Palestinians for a moment. And that was my wake-up call, that I was idolizing Bernie Sanders a bit too much. And then I just needed to say, fuck Bernie Sanders for a while. Like, everybody falls victims of that. Boomer, thanks for the follow. Trump, when he put the Bible upside down. He didn't even swear on the Bible. His hand wasn't on the Bible. Royal Angel, thanks for the follow. That's what happens when the education is not a priority, but testing is. War is business in America. Everybody gets rich and makes money. You think normal citizens get rich and make money? If you think that, you're kind of delusional. You know what the normal citizens do? They lose family members, they lose friends, they lose people they know. Because it's not the rich kids that go to war. It's the normal American citizens that go to war. It is not the children or relatives of the rich people that go to war. It's the normal citizens and their children who go to war and die. And have died. And will continue to die. And then you have governments that they don't even take care of your veterans properly. And then you have a draft dodger, a rich kid, who didn't need to go to war. Telling that you need to go and invade a sovereign nation because we want their national resources. You need to put some quotation marks on those bone spurs, though. 99% of the rich people doesn't, but never say all of them doesn't go. Majority of them don't. Of course, there are war hungry and those soldier types that they want to go and kill the enemy because they've been brainwashed that you need to serve in the United States military or otherwise you're not a man. That they will voluntarily go to the military. But usually rich kids. We're talking about rich kids, not like just above the average. We're talking about rich kids that they don't go. Unless they want themselves. I hate war. I've seen people who've gone to war and return and they're not the same. Of course, there's people who can handle it better. But it is a mental trauma that follows you throughout your life. Well, if you think about it, you need to be prepared to kill another person who probably has a family as well. And then you are in danger to lose your life as well. And you have a family. PTSD, yes. Did you go mandatory service in Finland? I don't remember. Nope. Off topic, a murder of crows are outside my house. I never seen that before. I volunteered for the infantry. Yeah, in human society, that's why, like, you volunteered. It's not the same. Like, you would avoid, like, if you were a rich kid and the traffic comes. Like, we're talking about the richest of the richest. Their kids don't go to the military. They go abroad on vacations. Enjoy their lives. Marco, thanks for the follow. Right, and the people are taught that killing is wrong, then they are sent to kill. The poor feed the machine. That's why citizens need to uprise. Revolution. Mark, thanks for the follow. They get diagnosed with bone spurs. Yeah. I'm going next year. You can always decline. You can go for a vacation for 6 months. Of course, you get a mark in your register, but you can go for a vacation for 6 months. You don't need to go to the mandatory service. You can decline. Rich people need always connections with the military. No, they need connections overall. They don't need. They need to know somebody that has connections, or they need to belong to a society that has connections. They don't need to know connections themselves. Hey brother, look what you said. Trump isn't good. What? Hey brother, look what you said. Trump isn't good. Well, what Trump did to, or what Trump sent to Norway is kind of dumb. So yeah. What? Why are the fucking governmental Twitter pages spreading AI slop that makes no fucking sense? The ones who want war are those ones who would never enlist. I'm sorry, can I ask you again where you're from? Where do you live full time? Okay, I'm gonna give you a brief rundown. So, I was born and raised in Finland. I lived in Finland for 33 years now. And for the past 3 years, I've been living in Ireland. I moved here because of my kids and also because me and my wife got a really good job offer. And to be fair, because my kids already knew English, it was kind of easy to move here. Because our kids have better opportunities in Ireland for whatever they want to do in their life, because it's an English-speaking nation, compared to like be raised in Finland. So that's why. There you go. Now you have my full life history. Should China be allowed to debt trap Venezuela with impunity? Trump declares an emergency in Venezuela, preventing China from collecting on their loans. I think China should just snag Trump, to be fair. Because, like, Trump is a convicted felon, and that's also, the charges are illegal in China. So I think China could do a Maduro for Trump and steal him. And that would be justified based on the consensus that the Americans had, well, MAGA had, that is justified then. He would be tried in China. Bro, you look kind of Charlie Kirk. God damn. I want to see the army and tell the stories and I get free flight lessons, so yeah. Oh, you're going to the airborne. Okay. So you don't speak English in Finland? No. It's not like our main languages are Finnish and Swedish. We do speak English in Finland, but like it's not common there. We do teach English ever since the 2nd grade. So at least for me, I started on the 2nd grade, and my kids started in kindergarten. So it's not your primary. Yeah, true. American here, we're sorry. Don't be, Modern Woods, don't be. So now you're in Ireland. Yeah, I live in County Mayo in Ireland, and I've been enjoying quite a lot. And Irish are really welcoming, like, which I already knew because it's not our first rodeo here. And now I'm waiting, like I'm 1 year off from applying for citizenship, which I do think I'm gonna do, because like we're planning to stay here for a long time. Can I go a caution minute? I'm maybe going to UK, London this summer. Oh, I'm in London, it's beautiful. Which county? Mayo. Dev, thanks for the follow. All right. We don't want any more revolution in the country, not a third world war. Brother, we're in Brazil Haven. What? So I primarily Irish, I'm more Irish than anything, and that's my dream place to come visit. Highly recommend, Drusilla. Like, Ireland is a beautiful place. Might be a bit biased because I live here, but like, Ireland in general is a really beautiful place to visit. And people here are just fucking awesome. I'm so sorry that all of this thing is happening. I mean, it is wild though, but it is not your fault. You just have a leader that wants to destabilize the whole world. Ireland is amazing. What's there last year? Is it difficult to obtain citizenship? There's criteria that you need to meet. Like you need to have a steady job and residence here for an X amount of years, and then you have the citizenship test. That's about it. Lots of sheep. I mean, there's also a lot of like farm animals here. 100%. Can you go outside and see the Northern Lights? I mean, we've already seen the Northern Lights a few times this year. No, not this year, last year. But in Finland, you can see the Northern Lights fucking almost daily. So if you want to see Northern Lights, go to Finland and Lapland. Thank you. See you later. Okay. Thanks, Marco. I'm a Canadian. I'm not American. Canadian doesn't need to apologize. We can't. Trump isn't the problem. It's all those in the US that voted for him. No, I do think it's Trump at the moment, and also the loyalists and yes men around Trump. We have them in Canada. Oh yeah, 100%. Canada has them as well. Like the northern parts especially. US government will let them back in if I leave. Is it windy a lot in Ireland? I want to go visit that. My last name is Coffee and my roots are in Ireland. Depends where you compare it to. Like, it can be a bit windy, especially in the county that I am in, because it's a bit more in north and closer to the sea. But if you go inland, it's not that bad. Rainy though, but I like the rain here. Like, it's like there's Canadians in the chat, so you might understand what I mean when in Canada you also have that hard cold rain, but in Ireland the rain is soft and quite warm, so it's different. Because in Finland when it rains it's hard and really cold, even in the summer. But here when it rains, locals are complaining about the rain, but I really like it because it's like soft and it's just mist. Pericolo's show, thanks for the follow. It's got bad at the end of July when we were there in 2008. I think if you want a proper summer weather here, it starts usually quite early. So last summer it was quite nice throughout June, August. Yeah, the Finnish rain is horrible. 100% won't recommend to anybody. I think Stephen Miller is a major player behind Trump. I think that could be a possibility. Like, the things that Stephen Miller is saying, like, kind of makes sense that he would be one of the people pulling the strings in the background. What is the temperature if I came in September? You want in Fahrenheit, right? I would say 68 Fahrenheit. Around that. 20 degrees Celsius. in September if you come here. Show a jacket. I mean, depends on where you come, what state you come from. For example, I'm Finnish, so that's t-shirt temperature for me. Like 68 Fahrenheit, 20 degrees Celsius. That's a t-shirt weather for Finnish people. The only difference between summer and winter is the temperature of the rain. This is funny hot take. Trump isn't really a conservative or a populist. He's a stress test. Canada is North America. Canada is technically America. That's one of the Canada is in North America. Canada is technically America. Yeah, it was called the Americas. You know that? It's not. Oh, my fucking god! It's the fucking continent. You're in love with Trump. I am in love. 68 is t-shirt weather for those of us in the northern states. The Irish summer is nice. I hear it's on a Tuesday this year. See you later, my friend. Don't take life too seriously. Enjoy. Don't get upset over things you can't control. I get upset every time about things. If God gives you lemons, you make lemonade. If God would give me lemons, I would probably punch God in the dick. Because God created bone cancer for children. So I would want some revenge for those. I would revenge every single child cancer death by punching God in the dick. Presumably that he even has a dick, because I'm pretty sure that God is, you know, all genders. You know? Trump now asked Putin to join in a peace committee where Trump will be chairman of. Wake up, MAGA. Trump is creating a new axis of evil. Oh yeah, 100%. I can understand. Oh my god, Janet Ryan. That's horrible. Like, oh fuck. As a parent, you're breaking my heart. This is like, it is. It's hard to put myself in your shoes, but as a parent, like, that is something that I would never wish for anyone, and definitely not for my own kids. And I hope that I don't know, of course it's a personal thing and you don't need to disclose that, but I hope there's a chance of like them having a long life. I know it might be that the diagnosis isn't good, but I hope that's all. I don't know, would I rather be uneducated or well educated, because I can't stand the uneducated guys. I mean, there's also the like medicine can help, I'm hoping. That would be something that would be a better use for your money, instead of like going to Venezuela and going to Greenland, bombing Iran, bombing Syria, bombing Yemen, bombing Nigeria, is to put your fucking money towards cancer research, so children don't need to end their, like, children's lives don't need to end so soon. Yes, that tells a lot. When, yeah, I know, I remember that as well. They got funding for child cancer research. That tells you everything you need to know. They don't have any morals in the government. You guys have Chernobyl around the corner. Yeah, Chernobyl is okay. Even though Russia has tried to destroy it again. It's bad, and unfortunately every day is a blessing with him now and enjoy him. Kids are supposed to bury their parents, not the other way around. Bless your heart and your child. Yeah. That is like... When we gotta breathe. Yeah, when an older person like gets cancer, it is unfortunate, but it doesn't make me as sad as when a child gets cancer. It's the same thing when we earlier in the stream were talking about like children dying in Palestine. That's why it hurts me so much, because they are stripped away their potential and their possibilities even before it began. And every single one of us who are in the chat at the moment, having a conversation, we have survived that. And there are children around the world that can't or haven't or will not. And then we have adults like Donald J. fucking Trump that is trying his hardest to make things worse for a lot of people around the world. I estimated that his mental age is 11. We are in 5th grade when we are 11. And that's why... Okay, let's talk about, like, the United States hasn't given a shit about children for a long time. Republicans don't care about children. The Democrats don't care about children. They haven't done a single fucking thing that would prevent mass shootings in schools. Every time there's a school shooting, thoughts and prayers, nothing else. They reduce the cancer research for children. Again, thoughts and prayers. The people in power are so fucking greedy that they put their own interest instead of the future generation. And that's something, when you go and vote, should weigh quite a lot. Because you have already experienced a lot of the life that the future generation hasn't. Yes. You know, I've been following the measles outbreak as well. Uneducated fools creating more threats and deaths to children because of their stupid decisions. Some of you might have remembered, but when Charlie Kirk was assassinated, I've told the story a few times. I wasn't really following that news. I got it with a bit of a delay because I was following the school shooting in Colorado at the same time. And when I saw Charlie Kirk was shot and assassinated, of course, I said that that's completely uncalled for and also unfortunate because nobody deserves to lose their lives. But unfortunately, I didn't really give a fuck compared to the children who died in Colorado because I valued the lives of those children more than Charlie Kirk. Those who died in Colorado that day. You can go and fact check this if you want to. The children who died in that mass shooting in schools were more important for me than Charlie Kirk. Those children didn't get any speeches from the president. Their families didn't get any messages from the president. The flag wasn't flown in half-mast because of them. Nobody even knew about them. Majority of the Americans still don't know about that happened at the same time. And now we have a happy camper who is downplaying dead children again. I don't idolize individuals. I don't idolize individuals, so that's why a person dying compared to multiple children dying is not, not even on the same level. Children's lives are more valuable than adults. We have mass shootings constantly. It barely makes the news. Yes, I know. And that is sad. Ohua, thanks for the follow. If you think that an individual, an adult, whether it take any celebrity or take any politician, if you think their lives are more valuable than multiple children's lives, your fucking view is skewed. He doesn't understand America better than Americans. Happy camper, I have a bit of a newsflash for you, but who did you vote? Just a personal question. Did that person promise to end school shootings? Or did he promise to, I don't know, stop mass shootings? Children dying? Make universal childcare for everyone? What did that candidate that you vote promise to do for children? Tell me. Let's see how well you understand America. You don't even, like, if you live in fucking Texas, you don't understand what's going on in Connecticut, for example, or Oregon. You have small countries inside your fucking big, huge country. But us Europeans have viewed many different news outlets from many different countries our whole life. So us viewing United States is easier than you viewing it. So by default, majority of the Europeans can view the United States politics way better than Americans. Because we've done that ever since we're like little kids. We are taught politics and history of different countries, how to view things. We made your childhood by protecting you from, like, no. Happy camper, what did your candidate do to protect children? Renegades, thanks for the follow. Boundless Boral, thanks for the follow as well. Are you in Finland? I'm not in Finland at the moment. I'm in Ireland. I'm Finnish though. We are riddled with propaganda in schools and media. Like, that is one thing that a lot of people who thinks that us Europeans don't know what's going on in America, why they think that is because America, let's take Colorado, for example. Colorado has about like 5.5 million people. That's the size of fucking Ireland. Population-wise and size-wise. Size of Ireland. Texas is the size of the mainland Europe. Like, if we take the size itself. Population is a lot smaller. United States is constructed with states that are almost the size of small countries in Europe. Majority of them are. Us Europeans are taught to understand what's going around us. So we're reading news from different countries, learning from different countries. So when we view the United States, it's easier for us to monitor what's happening around a lot of different states at the same time, because that's what we do. And that's, for example, what interests me, not just in the United States, but in South America, Africa, Asia, even Australia. Dirty Diana, thanks for the follow. Did you see the ICE protester who beat up and chased one of their own group? Madness. No, I don't think I saw that, yeah. Did you monitor when Joe Biden opened the border and allowed Americans to be invaded? Yeah, Joe Biden's border policies wasn't up to date. Joe Biden wasn't a good president either. I love it when people just like decide to come here and attack that I'm a Democrat, but I'm not. Like, Joe Biden wasn't fit to be a president. 100%. Yeah. I would even argue that what border policy, if we're talking like honestly here. What, like, the lack of a border policy. I'm not a Democrat, you fucking idiot. He was fit, yet you would have voted for him. No, I would have not. I would have not voted for Kamala, or I would have not voted for Joe Biden. I would have probably voted for independent, which some people think that it might be a vote for Trump. But those candidates weren't my candidates. But I'm not American, so I need to. Lucky for me, I don't need to think about that. Yeah, he pretends to have rational thinking, but he wants socialism. How would your country like to have open borders, allowed unvetted criminals? I mean, it's your immigration policy that's failing you. You think illegals have, like, you think illegal immigrants are all the issues you have? Well, your name is Joni, so you're probably from Finland, though. Would be surprised if you weren't. Or you might be a bot, though. How fucking brainwashed and lack of historical knowledge you have if you think that immigrants are causing the only issues you have in the United States? Haven't you paid attention? Yeah, immigrants isn't like, haven't you fucking paid attention to your own history? The people in power throughout history, read a fucking book, has always given you a reason, a group of people or enemies to hate. That this is the reason why everything's bad. And then you just believe it blindly, without checking it. And the actual perpetrators of why things are bad are still doing it. We're the world's empire. As soon as we make free healthcare, our hospitals are flooded. What? That was almost a sentence. We have way bigger problems than illegal immigrants in the United States. Oh yeah. But, like, immigrants is a really easy scapegoat for populists. And it has been used for a long time. Not just in the US, but in Europe as well. It is an easy scapegoat. Call me Drew. Drusilla? I like Drusilla more though. No one cared when Obama used ice and deported more than Trump has. If you haven't figured out what's the difference between what Obama did and Trump did, I think Obama's bigger problem was the fucking drone strikes on his US citizens. But of course, if you want to talk about immigration, that's kind of a bad topic to have, though. Obama did a lot of like worse things. But there's a big difference, and you might want to investigate that and learn. But how Obama did it compared to how Trump's ICE is doing it, there's a bit of a difference there. You might find it if you research, if you really, really, really want to find that. You might find the answer. Oh, I mean, there's chatters here who actually provide you the answer. Yeah, I mean... Obama did horrible things. 100%. Obama did horrible things. I'm losing it. Thanks for the follow. One of my least favorite things Obama did was like went after Edward Snowden for proving that the United States is monitoring their own citizens more than the rest of the world. That was one of my biggest gripes with Obama. That was such a fucking small dick play. Because Edward Snowden was a fucking national hero. And the Flint, Michigan Waterstone. And then they had the other whistleblower. What's his name? The soldier. Oh my god, it's been so long since I've talked about like the two whistleblowers. Remember that one? No, not Ashans. There was a soldier. An Iraq veteran or something like that. Oh my god, what's his... No, the other one. Not Snowden, but the other one. Was it Manning or something? Chelsea Manning. Well, I remember the surname. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, Chelsea Manning. Also hunted by Obama. But it's Democrats wanted to get everything quiet. Obama's administration approach was silence. But let's not beat around the bush. Like Obama, well, that's kind of ironic because Bush was shit as well. But Obama was shit in like some cases and some things he did well. Just like Trump fighting the pharmaceutical companies is a good thing. Trump alienating his allies, making United States the next Russia when it comes to international relationships, and also attacking other countries, stealing their natural resources and doing regime change, just like Obama did in Libya, is like fucking horrible. If we can condemn what Obama did, we're of course consistent here, so we're gonna condemn what Trump did, right? Right? Happy camper? What Obama did was horrible. What Trump is doing now is horrible. Can we agree with that? And now, let's see the goalpost being moved or... I mean, regime change in Libya was fucking stupid. Okay. Thanks, Happy Camper, I tried. See? This is why having a conversation is kind of pointless. Because they are just requesting me to provide them my views of a person they hate. And when I reflect that to to this that's happening now, there's no consistency on their end. Because they have none. Fucking cult. But I try. Like, I'll keep my best. What up, Vladimir Putin? And that's why, like, it can become a bit boring for everyone, but like, I give a chance for everyone. Wikipedia. What about Wikipedia? Paid attention to biased Fox News. All I have as my phone, hard to show my deep dives and research. Man, religion, flat earth and racist. What? Okay, now I need to see where that... Can I see all your comments somewhere, like in one? That would be handy. Because I wanna know, does that... No, your first comment was impossible. Right? Yes, your first comment was impossible. Then you cannot have conversation with hate. No, it's the other way around. You cannot have conversation with hate. Impossible. Hate is impossible to reach. Man, religion, flat earth and racist. Only thing getting streamed. I'm confused. I'm really confused. That's the American public is hate. Go watch the streams. I'm still confused. What are we talking about? Both crimes of Obama and Biden will always be discussed, decided justice system. I can't even imagine hitting another just because of their color. Whoa. Where the hell did we come there? What is the topic? Trump situation. 5th grade reading level. It is in Trump English. You guys are losing me quite fast. The hate is manufactured too. That's how they divide and conquer us. Okay. You know what? It's time to call it a day. It's already... Oh my god, it's 10:30. I had a fun conversation with you guys. Chad is speaking 5 different things same time. Release the unredacted files. 100%. Release the fucking Epstein files already. Sleep time. Yeah, it's 10:30 here. It's only 5:23. You need to take control. So happy to have found you today. Hey, as well, which please as well. I've had a lovely conversation with majority of you guys. I hope you have a great rest of the day, evening, morning, day, wherever you are. I end my streams every time the same, which is like, we may disagree and agree, but finding the common ground is the thing that we aim to do. And we can still have a conversation. If we just are willing to listen to each other. If we completely block our ears from one side of the topic, that's not a conversation, that's a monologue. You know? Like, follow, etc. Yeah. What up, Too Fast, Too Furious? More of a situation with Trump. Good night, as always. It's a pleasure speaking with you. I can't sleep with socks. The same. Thanks for the convo. Nice to meet you. See you again. I hope to see all of you again, and I hope you have a great rest of the day, evening. If we don't see, it was nice having a conversation and entertaining you guys. Are you going back to Hearthstone streams? I don't know. We'll see. Good night, everyone. Love and blessings. Same to you, Janet. Ryan, I'm really still hoping for best. Keeping my fingers and toes crossed for your child. Fingers, toes crossed, everything crossed. I even crossed the fingers and toes for my neighbor. Corey, thanks for the follow. Drusilla, nice to meet you as well. Thank you for all the gifts as well. You don't need to, of course, but thanks a million. I cherish everything. Now, I need to say Angelina, same to you as well. Andy, Mark, everybody, take care, stay safe. Peace out.